Hello, hello. We're back for week 2 of Full Deck Challenge 2026. This is Full Deck Challenge number 4. Just as a reminder, I'm doing them on Rolodex cards because I have a ton. This is a reminder of last week's pink, green, black, butterfly, and numbers. So this was my card from last week. This week's prompts that I have to choose from are bird, fibers, gold, stencil with texture paste, black splatter, butterfly, and orange. Now butterfly and bird are carryovers. Last week was butterflies and birds as well. Last week I did butterflies, so this week I'm going to do bird. I just realized when I get my fiber, what do I want to get for fiber? Looking at my threads. How about some straight white? Now, normally in the junk journaling world, people don't like the stark white, which is why we dye everything with coffee. But because there's going to be so much color, I think white in this case is going to provide contrast. So, right there is my thread holder. Somebody over there picking from it. Now I am a little late to record today. I had a toddler that was not too keen on nap time this week. So I had to get him down first. So I moved this off to the side. I have a little makeshift tray for splatter. I'm also going to be spritzing with my homemade alcohol inks that have mica spray in them, or mica powder in them. I got 3 different versions of gold. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. One more thing I wanted to grab before I started and forgot. I also have gold glitter glue. It's kind of see what it looks like to round, go around the outer edge of the card. Put something on in the background for noise. Normally I would be playing music, but I'm recording with my phone currently. I can't play music and record at the same time. So I'm just going to put on a little movie in the background, just so that I have some background noise. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is lay down orange. Sitting here thinking, I wish I had feather. Wish I had a feather dye or stencil. I do have a feather dye, I believe, but I'm not super sure. I have both of my spiced marmalades out because one is almost dead and I can never remember which is which. Funny, that does not look orange at all, does it? Oh, sorry, I just realized that I'm actually not filming my work surface. There we go. So this is, like I said, it's orange spiced marmalade. Just laying some orange in the background to start out. I'm also in the middle of doing Kara Brandon's Craft Room Reset. I've posted a couple of videos of those, but what that means is, unfortunately, some of my stuff I can't get to, which does at this moment include my paints. So I'm going to be doing my black splatter with alcohol ink when I get to it. So I've just spritzed some water into my hands so that I can create some, just some, I don't know what you want to call it, water activated spots there. Now, it is an ink and not an oxide, so it's not going to react quite like some people have seen. I'm sure, just because, like I said, it's not an oxide. But the ink does react a little bit. I think I want more water than that. Maybe I'll just do that. This is just tissue paper, so eventually it will argue back, I'm sure, about being all the wet stuff going into it. But okay, I'm just dotting off a little bit with the tissue. You can see a little bit of reactivity in the ink. You can see some spotting. It's definitely what I wanted. And I also want to spray, I'm going to doing my base right now. So I'm going to get all of my color down first. And I think because this is so dull-ish, I'm going to do a darker gold on the spray. Get it. I haven't used these in a long time. They're on a shelf way up there. And I always forget they're up there, if I'm being perfectly honest. There we go. Oh, like, see, it's not even, wasn't even wanting to spray. I didn't think about that. I could have just used that to make the ink react. Doy. I also could take some time, and I can sort of reach my dryer. But those are made with alcohol, so they should dry relatively quick. So, probably can't tell, but a little bit of a shimmer, which is what I wanted there. I'm just going to take this off. So I'm going to get some, just a little bit on my finger, just to kind of go around the edges here with the gold. Okay. Oh, see, and I've picked a movie that I've already seen. close to a disaster movie about a volcanic eruption. So I don't know how long that's going to take to dry. Okay. And then, like I said, can't get to my acrylic paints. So I'm just going to use my silicone mat. Get some black in there. I realize there's a lot of light here, and I do apologize for that. I can't get to my... I was just thinking I should close my curtain, but I can't get to it. And this I'm gonna put in here just to give it some... Not that it really completely matters, because if you were to look around my craft room, you'll see that there's splatters everywhere. And that's usually because I want to splatter something, but I don't want to dig out my splatter box, which I didn't want to for this either, which is why I made just this little paper tray. So those are turning out a little more gray. I even had to look to make sure it was my black and not my gray. That it was black soot and not hickory smoke. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more black, add some water in there so I can pick it up on the brush, and hopefully that'll give me a little more black. Another way you could do this is like this, so it gives it something hard to beat against. Now it's not giving me the darker black that I was hoping for, but it is giving me, using the scissors, it's giving me a finer spritz than going this way like I was. Both work. Set that off the side. You know, I don't have as a dry towel. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe it on my pant leg. There we go, all dry. So this gives me some opportunity to use some of these bigger birds that I have. These ones in the back are some of them are very little, like these ones. And I do find that I'm able to use those much more frequently than I am some of these bigger ones. But let's take a... I think while I've got them out, I'm going to start their migration, pun intended, over into my updated storage system. Start with that stack. Give me just a second. Cap my spray bottles off with my booty. So this isn't quite dry yet, but I want it down here just so I can get an idea of what size bird. Maybe. These ones are still pretty small in regards to this particular project. Yeah, I think I'm going to get into the next row there. These are not, they're not separated by color, they're not separated by breed or, you know, nothing like that. So they're all just going to go in here, and this is going to be my bird box. Slide that over. I mean, that guy is a decent size, but ideas are not springing to mind. On decorating the rest of it. So these guys are all fairly small. So I got all these images out of a field guide about birds. These are pretty small here. Figured while I'm at it, I'll do some organizing. I liked the idea of these folders when I made them, but it didn't take long for me to realize that for something like this, it was just not going to work. Because, as you can see, I mean, I'm having trouble getting things out. And things are, you know, the pockets are separating while I'm trying to, like, get them big enough to be able to get my fingers in there. Use my tweezers. There we go. Those are some really small images, and then these ones are my bigger ones. These ones here didn't fit into the pockets that I made for one reason or another. So I'm going to pull these out. I'm going to go ahead and put the little ones. Go ahead and finish this task here. A lot of birds. Oh, these didn't fit either. These are also big ones. Am I empty? I am empty. Okay. I'm hiding out down there in the little flap. Okay. Little birds. chair today. Well, I gave that a chance to dry a little bit. See, this one's got birds like this that have scenery with it. A pheasant. And I, you know, if I used one, I would just have to cut out, you know, cut these parts out again. I'm really bothered by the fact that my black is not black. That bugs me. Okay, he's too tall. I'm doing eagle. Eagle's too tall. I do like the bluebirds with the nest, though. It's too tall. Too tall. Too tall. That one will require a lot of extra cutting on my part currently. This one has a little bit, but I love that. It's too tall though. Too tall. So I have a bunch like this that are like two together. That one's cute. Okay, that's a possibility. Got some small ones here. I have a big card, so I do kind of want to like fill the space. Whoop. Oh, those guys are cute. Dropped another one. Let's see if there's anything else in here that immediately grabs me. Too tall. Landed in my lap at least. Last one landed on the floor, so I'll have to go retrieve it. Yeah, I think any of these are gonna work. Okay, so now I just have to decide between the ones that I picked out, or that I left out. So I've got this one. This one. And that one. This one. This one. Little mama with her birdie, with her babies. And then I got this dude that sits on a rock. Okay, let's narrow it out. Which two do I like better? Which one do I like better, I mean? I am nine. This is when it'd be helpful to be doing this as a live video, because then I could get other people's opinions. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. But level of organization happened in there too. My white fussy cutting scissors. Just gonna get this a little closer in. When I cut these out, I left spaces where I didn't cut it out because they then become snag points in storage. So you wait until you're getting ready to use them. And then this part here. Okay. Sorry, I realized I know I'm off camera. Just cut out this little section here, came down in the trees a little bit more. Although, I just realized I guess I didn't need to do that because I'll be cutting those off anyway. Okay, so let's start by inking around. Reaching behind me for a glue book. Just kind of knocking back that white. Remember I was just saying about, most of the time we don't like the white and we go through steps to get rid of it. This would be one of them. I feel like I want some book page. This is a legal one. You know what? Let me grab. got some sheet music because, you know, the birdies sing. What a gorgeous image. This is very brittle music paper. Let's see, this book is I'm not sure when the copyright is. Actually. Where it would normally have a copyright date, it says 9333. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. I just realized. That my good ruler is out of my living room. So we're just gonna. And I don't know what oh. That was probably really loud. Okay. Now, this ruler, technically, it is a die, which I didn't realize that when I bought it. I bought it because it had these really cool edges, and I thought, tear rulers. Don't know why it didn't occur to me that it was a die. It's got the relief holes. It's got the sharp cutting edge. It just didn't dawn on me. Somebody in one of the groups that I'm in happened to mention it, and I was like, what? I came into my craft room, and lo and behold, yepperoonies. So we're just going to tear right at the bottom of this one. But you see, it gives it a really cool edge. Just saying. Okay, and then I'm just going to go about half. And then I'm going to rough tear. Try to and see how fragile that paper is. Put this up there. I'm really arguing with my chair today, so I do apologize for that. Do I want some more on this side? Okay. I was like, did anybody see what I did with my glue book? I put it away. Still need it. That's not the glue stick I'm working on right now. This one is. I just feel like I want, like, something on this corner. Like that, you know? No, you don't know because you can't see what I'm doing. Having it on opposite corners. Yeah, I like that. Give that edge some zhuzhing up. I need to go back to filming with my camera overhead now that my desk is cleared off some. Now I'm going to try again to do black splatters. Using my black soot. Just going to do a little, just a tiniest little swoosh of water. See if I can get a little more black. Can't get any splatter, actually. It's too dry. Really pound it to get it to, and I'm still getting gray. Okay. If you hear me scream, you'll know I fell. Had to go in. Went in for you guys. Black acrylic paint. Just going to do a little drop there. Do have to add a little bit of water to it, otherwise it's not going to move. See how this does. And I am going to go into my makeshift splatter box this time. I'm still getting splatters everywhere. Some on my book, or some on my thread, some on my box back here. Yeah, it still gets everywhere, just not as badly. And at least I don't have the table surface that I have to clean up as well. Just so I don't have to get up in the middle of this to clean my brush, I'm going to leave this inside this wet towel. Just give it a good spritz just so that it doesn't dry up while we're still working. Okay. I still don't have a dry. Hey, there's paint. Oh, some fibers. Something else that I have, which, again, should have got before I started filming. Which stays in this realm of fibers, actually. These are little bird's nests. I watched Pam at the Paper Proud House do it. Strips of backing paper. You take various fibers that you have, roll them around your, so that it creates a nest. And then what I did was I pulled it off this way so that I created a divot in the center. And then that's where you glue your eggs, which would be little beads. So I used silver beads and little white pearl beads, depending on and I want that one right there. So then what you do is you pull it off like this, and then you just tear the paper around it so it gives you something to glue onto. But your nest stays glued to it and stays, for the most part, stays together. So, do I want to put the fibers behind them, or do I want to put more of these behind the nest? I think I'm going to put it behind the nest. Which, this is no special technique. In fact, I just accidentally tied it in a knot. It's just a solid string, and I'm just messy dropping it. Just like, so. And I'm going to use glue stick first for those. And then I'm going to glue the nest on with Fix. That way, if at any point the nest decides it wants to try to unravel, the glue's going to hold it together. So we're going to put them there, and then those guys. Now, I could glue down with glue stick. There's no reason not to. But as I've said in previous videos, Fabri-Tac is my favorite glue. I pretty much use it for all projects, regardless of what the medium is. Okay, now that I've got those on there, I want to move these guys over. Okay. Excuse my reach. Get my spatula here. These out here. So I did end up cutting into this guy's tail just ever so slightly. And now I need a wet wipe for my own hands. I want a little more gold on there. Just remember, this is glitter glue. It was probably bought at the dollar store. It was in a craft haul that I got. It's been hanging out and just not getting used because, again, it's on a shelf. It's on a high shelf, no less. So it gets forgot about a lot. All right. So the lid on that glue. The lid on this glue. The lid on this glue. All right. There we go. There is week number 2. Look for it on my YouTube, on Shanuki Art's YouTube, as well as Shanuki Art Full Deck Challenge Facebook group. Talk to you later. Bye.